So today we're going to talk about something that I've never discussed on camera before. It's all the stats to do with this channel and exactly how long it took me to get up to the minimums of 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. So don't go anywhere. Hello YouTube, and a very special hello to all my subscribers. My name's Phil and welcome to my channel. This is where I document my journey building an online income. So we made it, guys. We've managed to build up this channel to more than 1,000 subs and more than 4,000 watch hours, which probably, as you know, is the minimum in order to join the YouTube partner program. So what I'm going to do today is just give you a bit of an insight into this channel and exactly how long it took me to build it up and how much effort that took. So this really is a niche within the niche. So I basically document my journey following the Income School Project 24 system. And so it's kind of a very, very small niche within the making money online. So I think by looking at this case study and applying it to perhaps a fairly bigger niche, a more popular niche, let's say, you might be able to build up a channel like this even more quickly than I did. So first of all, I'd like to show you the stats for the last month. So this is really from just starting the channel until it was monetized, which was around the 16th of September 2020. So I'm going to show you that last month between September and August, so you get an idea of how many views and all that sort of thing that this channel is getting. So what I'm going to show you is the channel from the beginning, so around it was 8th of August 2019 to September the 16th 2020. That's when it actually hit the minimum 1,000 subs, and it was able to be monetized to join the YouTube partner system. So I just want to give you an idea of firstly the amount of views and everything like that for the last month. So let's have a look at that. So you can see that here we've got in the last month, so August the 16th to September the 16th, it got 10.2 thousand views. The watch time was about 1.2 thousand. It's gained just under 300 or 290 subs in the last month. So thank you guys. And as you can see, it wasn't monetized during this period because it hadn't reached the minimums. It's quite interesting to me the fact that it reached the watch hours, the 4,000 watch hours, way before it got to the actual subs. So in terms of reach, you can see impressions here, about 120,000 in that last month. The impressions, the click-through rate is about 3.3%. And again, you can see the views, but the unique views are about 5,000. And everything is going up and up. It seems that YouTube are really they've taken the channel and they're showing it to more people. So that's all really down to you guys. So thanks very much for watching. So in terms of traffic source here, you can see that almost half of the traffic comes from the browse feature, about 15% from YouTube search, and 13% from suggested videos. And here on the right, we can talk about watch hour, and you can see basically where all that comes from. Now, I've got to admit, I'm still kind of learning the ropes with all the stats, but it's interesting to see where everything comes from. And in terms of external traffic, most of it is coming from Google, nearly 60% here. And I don't really get much much traffic at all from the playlists or anything like that. It seems the most traffic's coming from a temporary playlist. And this is really for Mike. Mike, my friend and colleague from the Arts Grind. He likes suggested videos. He likes to look at this in our channel. So most of the traffic, 13%, is coming from one of my updates, month 14. But I'm also getting quite a few people, well, 6.8%, coming from another video from another Project 24 member. And he's actually doing a lot better than I am in terms of making money, but that's because he kind of chose one niche and just stuck with it. So if you're interested in finding out a bit more, go check out Cody Orgill. So this is an Aussie guy, and he's in kind of the cycling traveling niche, if I remember, and he's just killing it right now. So you can pick up some really good tips from that guy as well. Okay, in terms of engagement, so as I said in the last month, it's got 1.2 thousand views, and the average view duration for this channel for that month was 6 minutes and 48 seconds. And if you consider the fact that a lot of my videos are anywhere between 6 and 40 minutes long, you can see that people don't watch the whole video, but they are watching a fair old chunk. And in this period, the top video is that month 14 update. I have a feeling it's something to do with the thumbnail. I think it's something that people find a little bit interesting because I'm talking about the fact where, we don't really do any back link building when we're following the Project 24 method. And most of my bigger videos are really these updates. So this is obviously what you guys like to watch. So this is something I'm going to try and do a little bit more of, if I can, over the next couple of months. And you can see the playlists that do get a little bit of engagement. So the real passive income lessons is something that people seem to enjoy watching. This is really where I'm just sharing the weekly tips, the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm picking up, in addition to the updates. So in terms of the audience for this month, you can see that, as I said, unique viewers are about 5,000, and it seems that each viewer on average is watching the videos more than once, which is great, really, isn't it? Maybe it's because I talk too much and you got to come back and watch the rest of it later on. And the subscribers just went through the roof in the last month. But a really cool thing here is that you can actually see when the viewers are checking out the channel. So if you're kind of questioning when should you release videos and things, you can look at this and check out when people are watching you most. The other thing is, clearly I'm getting a lot more viewers who are not subscribers. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, why not do that now? So this kind of can give you an idea that maybe you're producing interesting material, but it's not something that people really want to subscribe to. So maybe that's something I need to change in the future. And then in terms of who's watching, you can see this here in the audience. So it looks like it's us blokes, really. Not too many women are watching me. Maybe I need to get a better haircut or something, I don't know. I don't know what it is. And then the age groups, it's really guys between 25 and sort of 44. That's the main audience, which I think is pretty much the same as in Project 24. They have a similar sort of audience. And yeah, so I'm getting a lot of you guys, you Yanks from the States, so thanks for watching, guys. Also some guys from India, that's really cool. And some of my fellow Brits as well. It's mainly English-speaking audiences, obviously. And in terms of revenue for that month, it didn't make any money because it hasn't been monetized. It only got monetized around, I think I got the email on the 16th of September. Okay, so before we kind of look at the bigger numbers for the entire year, so you can get the big picture of how much time and effort it took to build up this channel, let's just talk a little bit about the background story, just so we're on the same page. So I started this channel back on the 8th of August 2019, and since then it's got about 63 videos. So I've been trying to upload a video every single week, normally on a Monday or now it's a Tuesday. I did actually skip a couple of weeks here and there, maybe about 2 or 3. But I also added 1 week where I published a video every single day. So that's why within about a year, 13 months, it's got 63 videos on it. The other thing you may know if you've been watching this channel since the beginning, some of you have obviously, is I started off with a different name for the channel. So originally this channel was called Income School Student. And that was because that's what the channel was about, me documenting my journey as a student of income school. But another reason why I started the channel, which is no secret, is that Income School have a pretty good affiliate system where they pay you a nice little commission every time that you're able to recommend the course and someone signs up through your link. So I originally started off as Income School Student, then they changed the affiliate program back in about April or May of 2020, and they realized that I well, it was basically a trademark infringement, they said, but they were pretty cool about it, and they just said, can you change the name of the channel, of the website, and we'll let you back into the program. So since about May, this has been called Passive Income Phil, mainly because I don't have a lot of inspiration. So that's why I came up with that name. But the channel really took a bit of a change in direction fairly early on. I must say that the first couple of videos that I shot were kind of a little bit more salesy, a little bit more scammy perhaps. Mainly because that's what I was used to, that's what I thought internet marketing was like very early on in my journey with Income School. Then they corrected me. But the main thing was that I got a message from David David76M, I should say. And he just kind of called me out on it and said, hey man, these videos, they're just like one long sales pitch. Why don't you do something a bit more useful? And that's when I kind of changed tack and I started reporting my numbers for my websites and kind of just documenting what I was doing, mainly what I was doing wrong, and just trying to help people. And I think that's perhaps what people appreciate most, and it makes me feel better about the whole thing as well. Okay, the other thing I kind of want to talk about is my equipment that I use and also kind of my approach to this channel. So firstly, the approach. I was really concerned with content overall. So I just wanted to get the content out, and I didn't worry about anything like the camera to start with, sound, audio, or the lighting really. And I didn't worry about the background. And as I've gone through the channel, I've changed little things as I've gone. So I concentrated on the content. Then I was concerned with the audio to try and make that as good as I could, because to begin with, I wasn't actually using any audio equipment at all. It was just off a webcam, then a phone, and then off a camera. And after that, I was worried about lighting. So I got myself a couple lights. They're nothing fancy, just from kind of IKEA, but they seem to work. And then after that, I concentrated on getting a better camera, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So my philosophy, and this is very much the philosophy of Income School, is just get started. Don't worry about having the best equipment. Don't worry about being an expert when you get onto YouTube. So I started off, if you look in my very first video, I just had a very basic webcam, and the quality was really bad. But it was more of a sort of a screenshot, and sort of and the image of me was kind of just in the corner, and I don't think it really mattered that much. That video's got a lot of views, mainly because it was my first one. Then I just kind of switched to my phone. This is a very basic phone. It's the only smartphone I've ever owned. The brand is Wico. I don't know. I got it in France. I don't know if it's a popular brand. And basically, I just started shooting on that. And again, the quality wasn't great, but it was a little bit better than on the webcam. So around sort of Black Friday, which is what, in December, right? I went out, and from Amazon, I just got a little camera like this, kind of just a generic kind of video camera. And again, this was a kind of a step up from the phone a little bit. This was shooting in full HD, and I think it worked okay. I've used it on this channel. I've used it on the other channel I have, the IELTS Grind. My only complaint was quite often I used to get these kind of red line down the middle of the screen, just like sort of flashing through. And I never knew if it was the camera or if it was actually the editing program that I was using. And the other thing I had with this, it came with a shotgun mic, and we plugged it in, and we spent a whole day shooting, Michael and I, for the IELTS Grind. And for some reason, we just got this kind of electronic whir, kind of like this buzzing sound. So we lost a whole day of filming because I didn't test out the camera. Then about a month ago, I actually invested in one of these. Well, you're kind of like looking at me through it now. So this is a Canon M50 EOS. So I actually got this on the recommendation of another Project 24 member, Emma Cruises. You probably would have seen her. She's been interviewed on the Income School channel. She's also been on Content Warriors, which is Anna's channel. And I think she's even been on Channel Makers. They've spoken about her there. She's everywhere. So with this camera. It can shoot in 4K. I'm still kind of learning how to use it a little bit, so sometimes it doesn't always work, but it's a real step up. And this probably, compared to the camera I got before, which was around the $100, $130 mark, this is around sort of the $500, $600 mark. But I think it's a good investment because hopefully it's going to make the image look a lot better. So let's talk about audio. So originally I didn't have any audio at all. I was just working off the phone, off that kind of stuff. And to be honest, it was hit and miss. So I already had this kind of boom mic, I suppose. It's this one's a BM800, and I'd got this a couple of years ago for another project that I had, and I started using it, and it worked okay, but the issue I had was my laptop actually wasn't great, and this plugs straight into a little sound mixer, then straight into the laptop with a USB cord. And the thing I had is when I was doing screenshots, like of looking at the screen and all the stats and stuff like that, sometimes I would get these little electronic kind of buzzes and clicks and things like that because the computer was struggling to do two things at once, I think. So although I think this can work for most people, you've got to make sure that your computer's good enough to handle it. So I did this for sort of the best part of 6 months, I would say. Then I invested in this stuff. This is a Boya BYWM8 Pro K2. And I actually got this, I invested in it because I was quite lucky with the school that I work at here in Taiwan. So they had this tradition of giving red envelopes during special occasions. So there's a few things they celebrate here. So Chinese New Year, there's a moon festival that's actually coming up this weekend, and obviously like birthdays. And these guys, they'd forgotten to give me a red envelope for about a year. So they suddenly gave me the equivalent of something like $300 all at once, and I spunked it all on these. So you get 2 transmitters in this kit and 1 receiver. So I actually got it because I was starting this project with my friend Michael, the IELTS grind, and we needed 2. And it's really good because I think the sound's a little bit better, and because it doesn't go straight into a computer, I think it's a little bit more reliable. So with these lapel mics, these audio mics, you need an audio recorder to capture the sound. So the one I got was the Tascam. It's the DR05X. So this isn't the one that Income School recommend. They recommend a slightly more expensive one. This one, I think it was less than $100. I can't quite remember now, but it was a really good deal, and I'm really, really pleased with it. So basically what I do is you got the receiver from the Boya system here, and it plugs just straight into the audio recorder here. And yeah, I don't really have any problems with it. It always works. So the battery life is pretty good. The only thing is I've tried to plug the mic straight in, which you can do. It does have a kind of a preamp. I'm not an expert, but it has that ability, but the sound isn't as clear as when we do it through the audio transmitter and receiver system. So that's the equipment, and as with anything, as you go through, you can sort of update it. But like I said, I started off with a webcam and then just basically a mobile phone. And I have to say, my wife just bought herself a new Samsung phone, and it's way better than anything I had before. So you don't need to invest in all this stuff. You can really get by with just a mobile. So let's go look at a few more stats in a little bit more detail so you can see the big picture of this channel throughout the last 12 to 13 months. Okay, so if we look at the channel for the entire period, so from the beginning of August 2019 to the 16th of September, it got a total of 47,395 views. Watch hours, 4,962. So as I said, it got more watch hours, or it got to the minimum watch hours way before it got to the minimum subs to join the partnership program. Around the 16th, it had 1,023 subs, and the impressions were around 518,000. 1,917 impressions. And you can see a little bit, the top video I have there is the very first video, the one that I filmed on the webcam. It's got over 4,000 views, and it's, yeah, what, nearly 500 watch hours. And you can see that the click-through rate really is an average of about 5.9. That doesn't really change through the period, and we'll see that a little bit later on. So it's a little bit difficult to kind of see all the stats. So what I did, I arranged a lot of the details I wanted to share with you into little tables, little graphs and things like that. So let's talk about that. So here we're looking at the watch time spread through those months, August 2019 to September 2020. And you can see it does fluctuate a little bit, but we start off with, you know, about 13 watch hours in the first month, and it builds little by little as we go through. You know, it jumps to about 150 in September 2019, and obviously the most successful month was August, where it gets over 800 watch hours in one month. And although September here, it's looking like it's less than the previous month, that's only halfway through the month. So it really is kind of the snowball effect. So here we're looking at the average view duration, and it was pretty much the same throughout the period, around sort of the 5 to 6 minute mark. The only real outliers are later in the year. So June, it got up to about 7 minutes. And I think June is really when it was the month 14 video came out, that update, which was really popular, and YouTube are really pushing that out for me at the moment. So that got a little bit more. And in the last 2 months, it seems that the watch time is up as well. So here is kind of a look between click-through rate and impressions. So you can see that impressions just go up and up and up throughout the period. And it starts off fairly small, about 500 impressions in the first month since launching the channel, and sort of in August 2020, it's up to about 83,000 impressions. But the click-through rate month to month is pretty steady. It's around sort of the 5-point-something% mark. So, you know, I don't really, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can't tell you, but it is consistent. So the other thing is the subs. So I arranged all the subscribers that I got each month here. So in the first month, only 6 subs. It kind of was steady, sort of 27, going up to October. That kind of doubled going into November and December. January wasn't a very good month in terms of having subs, and it kind of fluctuated through till June. And June really picked up. I mean, it's almost 3 times what I was getting the previous month. And then July, not so many. Something might have happened. Maybe I didn't produce very good videos in July. I don't know. Maybe I didn't ask people to subscribe. Why not subscribe? And then August and September, things have really been taking off, and I think this is because the algorithm has really picked up this channel and is pushing it out to more and more people. And again, if we look at the views, it's fairly similar to impressions, really. It has the same kind of sort of movement here. So it starts off low and it just over time just increases but fluctuates as it does that. And you can see that again, August was the best month. So a couple of little things I want to share with you. So firstly, like to versus dislike ratio. For the channel, it's getting about a 94% average. And the thing to remember is, although it's not nice to see a dislike, it's all good engagement in the eyes of YouTube. So that's what this channel gets as an average throughout the year. And in terms of subscribers that I gained and lost, so at the time of recording this, I had 1,023 actual subscribers, and throughout the period of the channel it managed to get 1,156. So if you're good at maths, you can figure out how many I lost during the year. But you know, it happens. You know, people, they come, they find what they're looking for, And if they've learned what they need to learn and they don't want to watch anymore, that's great. That's what YouTube's all about. So you don't really have to worry too much about losing people. You never know, they might come back to you later. So another little metric for you here is how many comments I've had throughout the year on the channel. So managed to get 583 comments, and if you go into YouTube you can actually see per video how many comments you get and things like that. Again, something a little metric I can show you. So this is how many shares the video's got. It's got 170 shares. I don't know if that's really a good or bad thing. It's not. I don't really share the videos myself. I don't promote this channel anywhere. Occasionally I've shared videos within the Project 24 community, but to be honest, I don't really want to blow my own trumpet too much. If it's kind of relevant, if it's useful, I will share it. But often it's other people sharing this channel because I've said something that they thought was useful to others. So I think there are really two comments that kind of changed this channel. The first one was David76, who basically said, hey man, stop making these sales videos. And that really helped me out. The other one was from the guy, and his name escapes me right now, but he said, hey man, your thumbnails are rubbish. And I actually did a video on this, and I think this is one of the best things that's happened to this channel, because after hearing this, I kind of changed my approach. Like I said, with lots of other things on this channel, I haven't worried about things until I thought it was time. So just like audio, lighting, backgrounds, I didn't worry about YouTube thumbnails until I'd got everything else kind of rolling. So about a month or so ago, he sent me that email, that message, and that's when I started changing things. I followed WP Eagle, so Alex from WP Eagle. He's got some really good videos about making thumbnails. I also checked out some videos by Nick Nimmin and kind of adopted his style. I stole it basically, but he said that was fine. So, and I think thumbnails do make a big difference because they're a bit more attractive now. So I use a combination of Canva Pro, and I also use a free tool called GIMP, which is a lot like Photoshop. And if you check out my video where I talk about which thumbnail is better, I do go into a lot more detail about how to use those tools. But I really like Canva actually. I'd recommend it if you're trying to build thumbnails. It's really cool because the best feature for me is when I take a screenshot from the actual video, I can actually put it into Canva and remove the background really quickly. If you watch my other video, it took me up to 10 minutes to cut out the image before, and now you just press a button and the background disappears. Then what I do is I take that and I download it, open it up in GIMP, and give it a kind of a white border, give it a drop shadow, import it back into Canva. And you've got all these free elements, you've got these backgrounds that you can use. I like to use a gradient background. And the idea is just to make the text nice and easy to read, and you've got to put in a picture of yourself because people are more likely to click on a picture. Now, there are other ways to make thumbnails, but I think Canva is really great. I use Canva for making thumbnails, I make my images for the blogs, I make infographics, all those kind of things. And it costs about 120 bucks, I think, a year. Really worth the money. I'd really recommend it, and if you want to check it out, I do have a link to Canva Pro in the description, and if you want to buy through my link, it really helps me out. The other thing is they just introduced these videos that you can use. I'm going to talk about this in another video, but these videos that you can download and put into your YouTube videos as kind of mini B-roll. I've just started playing around with it and I think it's really good. So again, I just want to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. This really would not happen without you guys. Hopefully you're finding this channel useful and you'll keep watching. So what I'd like to do next time is, well, we didn't talk about money, right? I've mentioned that I'm a part of this affiliate program for Income School, but I've never really spoken about if I've made any money out of it. Well, that's something I wanted to put into its own video, which we'll talk about next time. So if you're not a subscriber and you're enjoying what you're seeing here on this channel, why not subscribe now? And also, if you've enjoyed hearing about my journey with Project 24 and you think it's a right fit for you, why not check out that link in the description, because I can really recommend it. Okay guys, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.